everybody. What is happening? Why is it a complete blank? Okay, give me a second. Something is wrong here. It's just blank.
That's always a great start.
Yeah, it's a perfect start.
Hey everybody, something is wrong here.
Hey guys, how do I fix life? All right, there we go. Hi everyone. Sorry about that.
I'll let you know when I find the answer.
Bonjour.
Buongiorno. Welcome to ReRoll's podcast, where we talk about D&D stuff. Currently, we are on this interview kick where we're just interviewing members of D&C. Tonight we have Jeremiah, Ryan, who's in the initiative chair, myself, Vicky, and Vic.
Yo.
So before we get into berating Ryan and asking very personal questions, hey guys.
I'm ready, I promise.
How are you? How is everyone doing? How's life been treating y'all?
My transmission is out and cracked open, and with any luck, we will know what the problem is inside of 24 to 48 hours with the parts ordered. So it's been a rough few weeks, but we're getting there.
Yeah, the transmission is a lot because it has to deal with your work and stuff, so it sucks.
Well, the only saving grace with it is that because it is a manual transmission instead of an automatic, instead of a rebuild being obscenely expensive because automatic transmissions were built by space aliens, it'll only be, hopefully just $1,000 instead of 3 or 4. So it's rough, but we'll get there.
So much money. Yeah. So $1,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah. Dad's helping.
That's good.
And I love him for it.
Yeah, you got a good pop. Yeah. Anybody else have any interesting news that's happening? Anything new in your personal life? You want everyone to know? Yeah. What's up? What's happening with your book? It's still.
We're almost there. It's just that I just found out, trying to take care of my daughter's FASA for her school, that apparently the IRS says I did not do my taxes 2 years ago when I did.
They like to conveniently lose paperwork like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they conveniently lost my tax refund for the past 3 fucking months. IRS, get your shit out of the gutter. Come on. I got places to be.
All right, come on, FBI agents, just transfer that message over. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get Ryan his fucking money.
Yeah, and stop creeping on my phone. I leave it stock for a reason. Fuck's sake.
Oh man. I bought a new wheel for my Roomba.
Hey, nice. Good for that Roomba.
Yeah, I'm sure your pet vacuum thanks you.
Yeah, that's the exciting news for me. But yeah, all right.
My fridge out today. I think that's the most structured I've been these past 4 days.
Wait, one more time.
I cleaned my fridge out today.
Oh, nice, bro.
We did that just the other day. It's a good feeling, isn't it?
It really is. I'm I finally feel like I have my life together, and then at the end of the week, I'll be like, so that was a lie.
Yeah, so the refrigerator is nice and clean, and then I walk into my bedroom and I go, well, fuck.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's like, fridge is clean, kitchen's clean, walk into the bedroom, shit.
Yep.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Hello, welcome to Divide and Conquer, where we're all semi-functional adults.
If you combine all of us together in a room with a table, we actually almost equate to one fully functioning adult human being.
Yeah.
I don't know if most adults will be even considered fully functional.
No, I don't think anybody is considered fully functional.
We're all freeballing it.
Yeah, None of us have any idea what's going on, and, we're just here for the ride.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep, pretty much.
I didn't ask to be on this ride, I want to get off.
We're all contemplating our next move in this complex game of life.
Well said. I like that.
And my first move in that is try not to cry.
Yes.
Can
DM,
I
would
roll
like to take a
not
reaction
cry?
to not cry.
Can I roll not cry, please? Thank you. Oh, that's a natural one. Oh man.
Oh gosh. Okay, here we go.
Guess I'm doing it for real now.
Yep.
Well, it's a good thing we're interviewing me this week because that means the only crying we're going to be doing is happy crying.
I have
my
actual,
awful humor.
I actually have a actual fun life update.
Oh yes.
A friend of mine just adopted a baby kitten that was found in the parking lot.
What?
It's adorable.
That's awesome.
Her name might be Donut.
Oh.
Or
That's
Banshee. They're debating because the cat has not stopped screaming since they brought her home.
Banshee's also a very, very good name.
As the-
might be better.
As the proud dad of a ex-feral parking lot kitty, yeah, I fully endorse this.
I
They're
fully
awesome.
endorse it. All of my cats have been parking lot cats, so
Yeah.
We
They're good cats.
recently rescued a parking lot cat and found them a home like yesterday, I believe.
no.
Yeah.
Are cats really misguided fae? Find out at 11.
Yeah, or they just manifest in parking lots and
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly it.
That's how that works. Yeah. They just boom. When
I've
your
never
cat's
seen a cat.
Portals are in
I've never seen a
parking
cat outside of a parking lot.
Oh.
You're either in someone's home or they're in a parking lot. There's no in between.
I've seen them manifest outside dumpsters, though. This does.
Okay, so the dumpsters are the spawning point. Got it.
We're cracking the code.
We gotta find the monster brick, and we gotta, attack that so that way the cats can stop spawning.
Why do I want them to stop?
Well, we gotta have the dungeon clear so you can get your loot. That way, otherwise,
If the loot's in the
mobs are gonna
dumpster, I
overwhelm.
think it can stay there.
Speaking of cats, we've now officially complained to the HOA of our neighbors' growing cat population.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh.
Feeding.
God, what are they up to?
feeding the feral cat population in the neighborhood and making it a
And
not
therefore,
good
they
place,
go around killing birds and squirrels. And
as well as feral cats do.
Oh.
Yes, cats are an invasive species when not domesticated.
Yeah.
Spay and neuter.
Please. This has been a public service announcement by DNC.
So speaking of feral species, Ryan,
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
That segue was golden. 5 stars.
boom, boom, rim shot.
Hey Ryan, how are you enjoying the new campaign?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love what I've rolled up. And when Vic, you sent me that image of that message that one of our viewers was listening on Spotify and was like, wait,
Yeah.
Cross is fucking what? Perfect. Perfection. I'm really happy with how he's turned out, and I really hope he doesn't die next session. Please don't murder me with wolves.
Oh, then don't get in a position where you have to be around wolves.
It's
just
okay.
detach one of your stick limbs and beat them with it.
Well, no, I mean, I made 3 copies of myself. There's
That's
this
true.
great spell called Mirror Image.
That is
Oh, that's
true.
good.
Oh yeah.
You did do that.
Trent is entirely convinced that he has intimidated the head wolf, though, and I hate to burst his bubble, but I do it every single time he mentions it. He's like, I think
Okay.
I intimidated. I'm like, you didn't intimidate it.
I think the wolf will let him know if he's intimidated or not.
that might be true. I mean,
That's fair.
he did roll, and he does believe what he believes.
Right, but pack tactics OP, like just
Pack
saying.
tactics are pretty OP. That is correct.
Love pack tactics. Love them.
Oh, man.
Great mechanic to use for mobs.
Just you wait.
You
Um,
wait.
No. I'll
You wait till
refuse.
next week, sir.
Oh,
I
okay.
failed my weight check because we're keeping this train rolling.
So, what was I gonna say? Hey, I really want to hear y'all's before we go into to bombarding Ryan with questions. I want to hear y'all's ponderings and thoughts into Second World.
I don't. Oh man, the fact that you were just like, this could be it. That has me just like so on edge because I'm like, no, it can't be over with. And I look back at my Facebook memories and it's like, you've been playing this game for 3 whole years. I'm like, oh shit, I
Yep.
have.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like that though.
Yeah, I agree.
I was
It's-
like, yeah, I just joined this game last year. And I'm like, no,
it's
no, I did
only
not.
it's only been a couple of months. Like Dickie just
Yeah.
made his first character sheet.
exactly.
No, 'cause I remember it was just me and Jesus was just kind of talking about that too. It was like, does it feel short to you? It was like the game short to you? It was like We've been playing for 3 years. So, like,
I
it's
mean-
not short, but at the same time,
Technically speaking, and I know that Sacred World games can run longer, and I'm not sure if y'all do the 3-hour time slot or if it's bigger.
Yes.
Okay, but y'all have been
Yeah.
playing for a cumulative 468 hours.
You serious?
With simple math.
Damn.
So that
Where's my achievement?
you get it at
Yeah,
500.
Switch, I need an
You
I
get
achievement.
it at
didn't see
500.
my ping. I didn't see my ping on the
Yeah, where's my ping, man?
Hour.
I want my imaginary internet points.
All right, hold on. Let me get on the phone with Microsoft. We got a bug in the achievement system.
Oh,
I
for real?
PlayStation.
That's a lot of
Oh
hours.
man, that's so much. Wow.
Yeah, the thing is with Sacred World, sometimes we go for.
it's something-
sometimes, you know.
Yeah, something happens and then we're just like, no, wait, 1 more hour. We gotta figure this shit out. What's this fucking
Yeah.
puzzle? The worst part's when we have puzzles.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
We're
starting with
not
the puzzle
this
next
group for
game.
puzzles.
Jesus's puzzles are another beast. I will say.
The problem here is that we are not the best group for puzzles at all. It's not our characters. Well, okay, maybe. Well, I self-project through West, so it's definitely me and West. But I just feel like we're not great at puzzles, especially when we're on a time limit, because we're just all we just all go one brain cell mode, and we're like, shit.
Hey,
you library, I'm good.
you didn't torch the Library of Alexandria. It's all good.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Sonya did nothing wrong.
Sonya did nothing wrong, and she got a great nickname for it.
She really
Accolade,
did.
the Devourer of Knowledge. I'm so glad I came up with
It's
a-
know
it's-
that in the college AU we're running on the Alistair Discord, that is her Instagram handle.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm
That's
aware of
awesome.
it. I don't think I'd seen it in a while.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, like, there's a lot of ways that the last couple of games could have gone, and you guys were like, let's go right to the source, and you did excellent on your rolls, and you found out exactly where the source is, which is the highest possibility for finding Jamal alive. So like, we'll see what happens. I'm really excited.
I am not ready for what's going to happen next.
I don't know if I am either. I'm
Oh
just,
no.
It depends on what you guys are gonna do. I have like 4 or 5 scenarios of like what could happen depending on when and how and who. But after this,
I'll send you some DMs after this.
okay. I'm all here for it. But like I said, after this is gonna be like maybe a month of a break, and then we're gonna go into the Sacred World Chronicles, and where it's like, all right, who's going first? And then we'll like let's hatch up all your things. It could be one shot. It could be an entire month's worth of like heavy focus on your character story.
Hey, that sounds good.
Yeah, I have at least a mission for everybody, but I want to also hear what you guys have. So like,
As if you have a character at the end.
yeah, let's see if you have a character at the end.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
I have a bunch of awakened cactuses running around. So if there's
Yeah.
I'm
I-
so
like-
happy for you, Griswold.
It's a giant
Yeah.
forest, but the entire forest is just one entity. Like the entire
Okay.
ecosystem is just spiral.
No, I did not spawn an invasive species. They have manners. It just happens. Their manners happen to be one track. It involves punching things. Okay.
Hold on, let me, before you continue that, let me just put some earmuffs on my desk cactus real quick so he's not listening.
No. This podcast is safe for all cacti, of course, or any other prickly beings.
It's true. It's true. All right. So, hey, Vic.
Hey.
You has 2 questions. Well, one's Tabitha's question, but
Yeah.
since
But I
you're
will
here-
be speaking on the behalf of my other half, yes.
Of course. So, what's
right.
up?
Let me scroll all the way to the top past all these
All
horrifying
right, let's get into this.
Okay, so I don't remember which question comes from who, but so your first question from the both of us is what is your favorite Magic deck to play with?
So I feel like this question warrants me asking a follow-up. Do you mean like of all the decks I've ever played, or what we currently do on every other Sunday night?
I'll say like out of like all the decks you've ever played.
Out of all the decks I've ever played,
What's your favorite one?
I've got to say, so Jesus,
Yes.
you know Anafenza, right? My like hyper combo deck from hell that's like cringe competitive, right? That wasn't the initial plan for that deck when I first started building it about 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I was put onto the color combination of green, white, and black, which was called Junk. And it was called Junk by the Magic community at large because none of it synergized well at all. And I fell in love with it immediately. And there was pretty much only one concept you could do with Junk colors at the time, and that was Reanimator. So I built a toolbox Reanimator Junk list that, if it went right, I could smack an entire table for about 64 million damage split 3 ways. And it was basically doing one very long convoluted crater hoof loop, and it was an absolute blast the first time I pulled it off at Third Coast, because the entire rest of the table is sitting there like, holy fuck, that worked? And I'm like, holy fuck, it worked! And it was a great moment. But I loved my Teneb the Harvester list. I've still got the original list sitting on my tapped out somewhere, and I can even link it if you want. But yeah, sure. Definitely all-time favorite deck ever, my Teneb's Toolbox. It was... Nice. Oh no, cool. It's gone.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, I got 2 pages. Wait, there it is. Haha! Updated 6 years ago.
Dang.
Yeah. It's been that long since I pivoted. Holy crap, I've had Anafenza built for forever. But there it is.
Nice.
I see.
One day I'll load it up on a Sunday night and y'all can see what it used to be.
I'm excited once we start doing things at the table. Actual cards. Remember those days when cards were hard to read because of glare?
Jesus is mad that he can't like flip a digital table. He needs to flip a real table whenever.
You can flip a digital table. Tabletop Sim has that functionality.
I
do it on occasion.
I think I would prefer to flip the digital table so I have to clean up afterwards.
That's fair. Don't run the risk of destroying the 4K cameras.
Exactly. Oh man. What's the next one?
All right, so next one is so what would Griswold do if he was ever pulled into the world of Ravnica? Spine roll, of course, coming with.
So Griswold's in, because Ravnica's broken into 10 factions, right? Yes. Griswold's in this strange place where he's not quite dead enough to go for Golgari, because Golgari believes in, the endless cycle of life, death, and undeath, and basically recycling everything so that nothing goes to waste. He's not dead enough to be in the Golgari, but he's not quite of pure enough convictions to go for Selesnya either. Because Selesnya are the big, like, hey, nature's awesome, people, right. And Grizz is a little bit darker than that. So I'd want to say he'd end up either stuck in that in-between or picking one or the other. I think he'd ultimately go with Selesnya, more because they'd be like, holy crap, you have a talking cactus that didn't come from the Simic Conclave? Or Combine? Oh my gosh, we gotta see this! And then get punched, and it would be marvelous. But,
I like the get punched parts.
Yeah. Now I want to see what you would do if you built a deck specifically towards Griswold, what that would look like.
Probably I could throw something together. That would be an interesting design
flaw. Spine roll deck, just all plants.
Just all cactus, all cactus.
Oh man.
What's the star? Not star spawn, starlight, or the bro that gets +1/+1 for every forest you have on the field?
Oh, your Omnath, Locus of Mana, gets +1/+1 for each unspent green mana in your mana pool. I think that's a little too pure green though, because he's mono green. But no, Wolf actually had a deck list that I think would go to Griswold rather perfectly. Mm-hmm. It was Felon of Havenwood, which was Fungus Tribal.
Ooh.
What?
And it's a green black deck that's based entirely around spamming the entire board with as many fungus and saprolings and other such things as humanly possible,
Okay. Nice.
and then throwing them at people. Yeah,
That sounds like a Griswold thing.
yeah. So that'd probably be more to Griswold's mythos than anything I can possibly think of.
Right.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, these next three are coming from Lynn. If your character survives, choose any character you want, to the very end, what would be the best case scenario for them after the campaign is complete in their arc? Actually, if Ferris had never passed, what would have been his best case scenario? I'm interested in that one.
Ferris had never face checked a very small room with a fireball, and met his untimely demise as a result. I feel like he would have probably ended up folding to Omni entirely, because he was bound to her via the moth thing. I believe he was the one that initially called for help and was like, "Hey yo, give me this moth. I'll do whatever you want. Like, just get me out of Azkaban." And he had this thirst for power that I initially had in the ideation for Ferris, and if I had seen that through, yeah, he'd have probably ended up becoming a vampire anyway. Like, I just,
It was meant to be.
I don't know why. I like, whether it's Magic or D&D or anything else. Like, hell, Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction. Like, back in the day, I played a necromancer. I really enjoy, throwing skeletons at things.
It's
So-
the goth boy in all of us.
So yeah, Ferris would have probably ended up being a mini boss to the party. I would have thought, maybe, if Omni had her way.
I was really thinking about going in that route, but I also felt that would be maybe not appropriate for everyone's first campaign.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Like, I could have seen it. But also, I now just picture him broing down with Nexus and Nexus one day, being like, "Okay, we get what is baseball," and just out in a graveyard, just batting a skull back and forth. Like, I don't know. That would be an interesting little like vampires buddy copping through the wilderness, like just kind of thing. I could see that being fun.
Yeah.
But Griswold did survive to the end of the campaign. And I'm happy with where he's left at. He's got, kind of a professor position at Hogwarts as either, substitute teacher for herbology in case Sprout wants to take a break, or, just gamekeeper, all that good stuff. The dojo of cactuses idea came to me very close to the end of the campaign by one of our other I think it was Bones. I think. Just, like, imagine other little spine rolls running around, and I was like, oh, how does spine roll procreate as an awakened cactus? And we were like, oh, well, you'd probably have to get, like, seeds or a clipping, and then just plant it. And I was like, huh. I could picture an entire dojo of punching cactuses.
Little punchy guys.
Yeah, and we already had names for two of them. One for Professor Sprout. It would be named Sprout, that for helping come up with the idea, and the other one, which would be named by me, would be Caltrop.
Yes.
Because of the pokey nature. So I do like where Griswold is left off at. He's in a good place where in any epilogue sessions and that sort of thing, we could he could come in and help out. And then there's Crosshatch. And I feel like, because we're not even to session 10 yet, Crosshatch has a few different directions he can go. I do really love what I've come up with this guy. But I think it's too early to tell for Cross.
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of people, when they picture, mysterious backstory construct that we don't know how it got here, but it's the only one of its kind. Shrug, how did it get here? Like that, that's just the discovery point. I also don't want to give any spoilers for any of the backstory I've written out for him.
Alrighty, no problems. All right. Well, on to.
I will apologize for being long-winded. I just
You're good.
start on a tangent and go off from there.
Hey man, it's almost as like this is an interview or something. and
I
you're
know,
supposed-
right?
It's-
Fair. Me stop talking? Never.
Why? Whom's
Instead of
Okay, so because of quarantine, how has playing through the computer affected your RP slash playing the other games? You could also include Magic.
So for me, Magic wasn't really affected, if only because before we started doing the Sunday Night Magic thing, me and Trent had a few buddies that we'd just hop on tabletop and just throw cards around with. So Magic wasn't affected that much, and we were already adjusted to the system, so it was easy to acclimate. D&D though, because I just have this headset, I don't have a real fancy mic, and I know the headset and Discord's integrated voice stuff can be real hit or miss. I never really, well, one, I never really practiced Griswold's voice that much, unless I was drinking already, and then of course you just never remember it because you only remember it when you're drinking.
Yeah.
But but Cross has allowed me to open up and because he wasn't designed to talk, he ends up talking like this, and it's just screeches and growls and I love doing that. But do I want to be back at the table? Absolutely. I miss it dearly. I miss being able to banter and IRL shitpost with everybody in Wednesday's games.
Soon.
Oh yeah. But has it affected me? Personally, no. I want to get back to the table, but that is a drive. But it's a drive I am more than happy to make when we get back to it.
Yeah, and close it'll be you and your roommate that have to make the drive. So.
Oh yeah. So we get to shitpost all the way there.
Plus, what you're missing out the most, having being everybody, you're missing the comradeship, the camaraderie of the group together, working together.
Oh yeah, that could also definitely be a factor. Because I know, like, heated moments, at least in Wednesday's games, they felt a lot more heated when, you know, we're all actually at the table. Like, behind a screen, it is a little diminished, but I think we pull through pretty well.
Yeah, there's been some deep conversations that I'm like, if I could see more than just like your chin to your forehead, that'd be great.
That's why you see me lean back and stretch so often. I'm not just perpetually tired. I'm giving you the full frame.
I thought you were just flexing for daddy, but that's really different situation.
Always. You know it.
So, last question from Lynn. What is the most intense moment your character has experienced in the game that actually has affected you IRL?
I think Jesus already knows the answer to this, as well as Jeremiah. But for those that don't know, all of my characters are... I don't like to do a full self-insert, but I'll pick like one quality that I really resonate with, and just have that be my little bit like self-insert Easter egg, right? And Griswold's mom died when he was still in had just graduated from Hogwarts, and Dad just up and left. Now that's not entirely a self-insert. My dad is a great human being, but my mom did pass when I was very young. But Griswold had a tree on the family farm that was in the center of the fields. This big, monolithic, gigantic tree that he called Mom Tree. That he would go back and every year do the ritual cast for plant growth to make the entire harvest go crazy, but also to supplement the tree. And he had planted different flowers and stuff from his travels around that tree as kind of his own homage, a way to remember her. Well, at one point, Leon had to go and frickin' die to a bunch of redcaps. Yeah, I'm blaming Leon for this. No, not really. But Leon decides to have his Leroy Jenkins moment, and Griswold started looking for ways to try and bring him back, because he had, gentle reposed him, so he had 10 days. He knew that. But he goes and he communes with we just hit spell level 5, so I get commune with nature. And commune with nature by Raw does not do anything that Griswold did in that particular scene, but Jesus flavored it so goddamn well that I could have sworn I was talking to Mom. And I knew it was coming in that session, and it still hit me like a Mack truck, and I broke down and fucking cried my eyes out. It was a really heartfelt and touching scene, and I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life. It was a fantastic moment, just feeling like I was talking to her, even if it was in the context of a story of just one blip on the radar of this campaign. That's my blip. That's my blip right there. And thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jeremiah, for sharing that moment with me, and thank you everyone that watched for that, because it was a powerful moment.
Thank you, bro, for letting us have that. Like, that was amazing.
Oh yeah.
It was you let us into your soul, which was awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't stay around in there too long.
Hey Jeremiah, you got a couple questions.
A couple questions. I think I only have one.
Yep, one
I've
whole
always
question.
asked. Well, I've asked everybody if you can reimagine one of your characters, D&D characters, and change his or her race and class. Why would it be? Except Crosshatch. Crosshatch is perfect the way he is.
Crosshatch is the best entity, as Jess said last session.
Dare I say, Crosshatch is best boy.
Crosshatch does not technically have a gender, but he goes by he, him. So yeah, best boy would probably suffice.
Also, no change is perfect Ezra.
So I think if I was going to reimagine any of the 3 characters that I've now, well, technically 4, but the Theros campaign is a little more casual, albeit on an indefinite pause now. I think I'd reimagine Ferris, if only because when I came into that campaign, it was still pre-session 0, and Jesus noted to me that we didn't have a healer. And I was like, okay, well, then that probably puts me in cleric. And he was like, you don't have to be a healer if you don't want to. And I was like, I know. But when I play League, for example, or before when I played League at the time, I was really big into being a support main. So I could do a supporting character, right? But I wanted to give it my own flavor. And we ended up coming down to this light domain cleric that, of course, ended up famously wanting to burn the boat and yeeting a fireball at his own party by accident because, quote, that is what my character would do. Wasn't a bad moment, was a bad time to use that spell. But that said, I would have probably either imagined Ferris as more of like probably a martial class. I haven't touched martials yet, and part of it's because I'm subscribed to a bunch of D&D subreddits, and most of them like to just shit on, oh, martials are nothing compared to casters at the same level, and they have different purposes. But I would have probably made Ferris more of like fighter, maybe? Battle master? I don't know. But I would have definitely changed up some things about Ferris looking back.
Okay.
I did love his initial ideation for casting spells. Like, I went really hard on the alchemist thing and then ended up dialing it back when I was like, it doesn't fit quite the way I wanted. Where he, in order for him to cast spells, he would take a bottle that had this spell put into it and then bat it at someone, and it would impact, and the spell would cast. But it was a little too flavor heavy, and it was also my first delving into actual D&D 5e, so we ended up dialing that back a little bit. But yeah, I'd have probably made Ferris a martial class, just so Neff wouldn't be the only one frontlining.
And now it was like when you were telling the story about Jesus saying, "You don't have a healer for Wednesday campaign. Now we have 2."
It's great. And
two
hey,
healers and two same
Oh.
class, and it's amazing.
It's something that I haven't discussed, but hey yo, we might need merch soon with the murder crew. I'll explain later.
Murder Crew. Oh yeah.
Yeah, play later.
just picture this: the Straight Outta Compton logo from that one group that's name vaguely escapes me. NWA, I think, reasonably sure. But anyway, Straight Outta Compton, but it says Straight Outta Spell Slots.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be great.
We had an entire shirt merch like brainstorm before last game for some reason.
Alright, let me load up my clip studio.
you don't have to do it now. You don't have to do it now. But just saying, like the second this is over, yeah, no. Like, send that to me, like print screen it to the shirt and send it to me immediately. just...
Hey, Rian, I have two questions for you. So,
oh boy.
Magic World, like, because I think as soon as you guys started playing is when 5th edition started saying, hey, like, Wizards of the Coast owns Magic the Gathering. Those worlds are pretty D&D at times. Why not just integrate it into the new system?
Yeah,
so,
I want to say I started playing with y'all like about a year before Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that before that they had like Planescape, which is just like small little modules that you can get online when you can travel to like different realms. So, what realm would you be in, and why is it Ravnica?
New Phyrexia.
Oh god, yeah, that's a good
New Phyrexia, high horror, like your characters that are part of the rebellion. Urabrask, you're being sheltered by Urabrask the Hidden, and you have to go the entire campaign without being completed, or the rest of the party has to fight you.
Yeah, as soon as one party member gets infected, that's it. That's an NPC now.
Yep. Like, boom, high horror, like low probability of survivability, like just ridiculous, like probably a short campaign, like, but it'd be gritty. And oh man, sign me up. Let step on me, Elish Norn. Sorry.
All right then. So
Failing that though, besides New Phyrexia, give me. If I had to pick a world,
I just want you to know before
Zendikar.
Zendikar? Okay.
Yeah, like give me the post Ulamog Zendikar. Like just trying to rebuild. There are still stretches where there's like Eldrazi pockets, even though they've like defeated the main blight. Because like you can't really. I think they said they permanently defeated the Eldrazi, but Emrakul's still kicking. And Emrakul might be hungry, but she's in the moon on Innistrad. Give me like rebuilding Zendikar. That would be cool.
Okay. Speaking of Elishnor, there is a film that you need to watch. It's called Psycho Gorman, which I encourage anybody to watch that loves horror.
Psycho Gorman?
Psycho Gorman, or PG for short. It's hilariously awesome. But I really, really feel that these people were like the biggest nerds because there's so many like the main villain was from the planet called Gygax. Like,
oh my gosh.
And like the main one of the Psycho Gorman is a villain, but you're rooting for that villain versus the other actual villain who looks like a mecha version of Elishnor. Like,
really?
Yeah, like just look it up. It's
I love it. It's like it's like if you had to have a buddy cop kind of scenario with like Dis and Patience.
That was made last year.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I was thinking this was some like 80s film. No, this was last year.
Yeah.
During the big old Rona.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Anyway, moving on to the next question. I just had to insert that because I watched it a couple days ago and it was really, really good.
But how accurate is my statement, though?
Wait,
yes. Like, the little girl in Psycho Gorman is pretty much just patience.
It's just patience. All patience.
Yeah. It's a what if patience can control this, is how I view the film.
That's basically it.
There was no lessons learned in that film.
I will definitely.
That sounds exactly
definitely
like
look it
how their team up would be. There were no lessons learned here today.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. As I'm re-looking at our things. Okay. So so you would be in these two different worlds that you would want, either rebuilding after a Zendikar or in Phyrexia. Who would you play? What class, character, race? What would you want to play?
Let's see. New Phyrexia, high horror. I definitely don't want to be a Warforged. That just sounds like a bad idea. I'd probably go Tiefling because I haven't rolled up one of those yet, and
Squad.
and Tieflings in the context of like Magic Universe, Tieflings would traditionally just be called devils.
Yeah.
But devils are not native to New Phyrexia at all. And so I think just the shock factor might give me a chance at maybe surviving getting jumped by these complicated beings. And it'd probably be Tiefling. I feel like I want to take another stab at the rogue class. Because Zadrith's fun. Zadrith is also wacky. I'd probably try for a bit more of a realistic rogue build on a Tiefling.
I think in Phyrexia you need to go stealth and hide. That is the best chance of survival sometimes.
Absolutely. You do not want to get caught with your pants down when Shieldred's right around the corner. Oh, we couldn't even fight Shieldred because she's a big spider lady.
Oh,
Dang it.
No. Yeah. Well,
it reminds me, back when I used to do like text-based role plays in another server, I was like role playing a Tiefling character, and it was one of those scenarios where it was like a demi-plane tavern where it connects to all different universes.
Okay.
You know, kind of like our Battle Royale universe.
Of course.
There was like a character that was from Ravnica that came in, and my Tiefling character was having a conversation with that person, and they were like kind of like a little unnerved because it's just like, you look like a Rakdos kind of person, and I'm a little unnerved right now.
Like, how hard are we about to party in this tavern here, devil man?
Right?
I like your words, devil man.
Because I came loaded for bear.
I like your funny words.
All right, this is from Jess. If Ferris and Griswold met, how would they? How would they regard each other? Sorry.
Spider-Man pointing meme.
That's
it. The Spider-Man
Love it.
point. Well, I mean, it happened. It did happen in campaign. It's just when these questions were written, it hadn't happened yet. And I just remember Ferris going to leave bat form and Griswold being like, "You get back down here." And they just both look at each other. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Like, just that's basically how it happened.
That's true.
And
that's true.
I'm sure if they had a chance to actually sit down and bro down, I don't know. Griswold would probably end up being a father figure, as he attempts and fails to do with every single one of the students under his aid.
I don't know. Did he actually fail with his students, or does he just think that?
He passed in some port. Like, I mean, he brought one of the students back to life, and we don't even know what the consequences of that's going to be. But
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
yeah, we will.
Yeah.
I did also technically have to kill Neff in order to get her to drop the polymorph so I could get the Horcrux and throw it down the stairs. So am I the best teacher? No, probably not. But
You're trying, and that's what matters.
it's like Miss Frizzle in the Magic School Bus. Occasionally you can go some places you don't need to fucking go. Like Egypt, ever again. Ever again. No more sand, please. But yeah, no.
What's wrong with Egypt?
Yeah,
Too
what's
much.
wrong with Egypt?
I have a bonus question here.
What's up?
If Griswold is Miss Frizzle, then who are the rest of the students in this Magic School Bus AU?
Oh God. What's the name of the one kid that's always got the worst puns?
Ralphie, I think, or Carlos.
No, Carlos. Oh God, who's Carlos? That's the only one I cared about growing up. Oh God, who is Carlos? Carlos is probably Jeremiah's character that I'm totally drawing a blank on right now.
Joseph? Or
Yes.
Leon?
Joseph.
I was like, y'all are saying words that I do not understand. Even though I watched so many episodes of Magic School Bus, I'm running on blank on everything that's not Frizzle.
The redheaded kid is also Bones. Just because Team Mom, redheaded kid had big Team Mom energy.
Oh, Arnold.
Yeah. And then I
Both have the energy of can we just please have a normal day at class? And everyone went, nope.
Ferris, don't burn the boat. Too bad, we're burning the boat.
Awesome. That's great. Alrighty. Okay. Here is a non-character question. How do you make up characters in your mind?
So, I don't understand the second part of that question because I'm also reading them as you're saying them.
Oh, that's a different question that they did not put a space bar.
Oh. How do I make up a character in my mind? So Crosshatch, Jeremiah knows this. Crosshatch is based off of a source material. Crosshatch is based off of Fiddlesticks from League of Legends. And Vic knows this too, because when I sent the concept art, or the concept that I was trying to pull off, I was like, hey, here's the base splash art for Fiddlesticks. And Vic, I remember your reaction like, oh, I'm gonna fucking love this. And
Yeah.
because it's so
like,
so
I'm ready.
creepy. It's like the harbinger of doom Fiddlesticks, and just like, yeah, I can't be that creepy, but I can try. But yeah, Crosshatch was based off of concept, off of me wanting to do Fiddlesticks in D&D, and I think I pull it off pretty well, the effigies and that sort of thing. But when it comes
Your
to
little clones and stuff.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I see why you do a mirror image. Okay.
Yeah,
I know
because
nothing of the game, so that's okay.
So Fiddlesticks' rework, his like in the game you can drop wards and the wards give you vision and stuff like that, right? Well, Fiddlesticks is the only champion in the game that cannot use wards. Instead, his passive is that he drops effigies of himself to just crank that fear factor. Like, so you'll walk into a bush and you'll see what you think to be an enemy champion, i.e. the Fiddlesticks, when it's actually just a harmless effigy. And it's just playing this mind game with you of you don't know which one is him.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm doing the cloning thing. It's also just a great defensive mechanism. Like, Griswold started because I was going through and I was like, I really want to try a druid. And Jesus was like, okay, druids, you've got a bunch of different circles, and he lists all of them off except one, and then he goes, and then you have Circle of Spores, and I was like, I want that one. I want that one. He's like, well, I didn't want to oversell it, because we're both Golgari nerds, and Circle of Spores was first printed in Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. And so I took the idea of Circle of Spores, and I guess I had a brain fart in ideation, because I was like, he's just going to love plants, not realizing that fungi aren't plants, they're a fungus.
He's just a fun guy.
But I'm going.
Yeah, no, fair. But
Way to go, Carlos.
But I wanted him to just be like plants almost more than humans, and then at one point I was like, hey, spine roll sounds like a great idea, and spine roll was a great idea.
Spine roll was the best idea.
Oh yeah,
That's idea.
We have permanently skewed the idea of pets in Wednesday's campaign to the broken extreme end of it. Thank you, Spine Roll.
Yeah, it's Spine Roll definitely left the whole like, I don't want to kill your pet mentality. Whatever, I'm just gonna equate them to like a magic item. They're just like, we'll suspend our disbelief when it comes to pets.
Spine Roll almost died.
Yeah, almost.
At least once. But no, I was more speaking to the to the ravens in Arthurian Tales. The current thing is we have to get the trick set up for them, and I know that the major line break there is Spinal could communicate.
Yeah.
Like right off the cuff, you were handing me something that is just way more powerful than any pet has any right to be, and I started turning him into a polymorph sink, and it worked to great effect. He is a sweet boy.
He's a sweet baby.
Ferris.
Practice.
Oh yeah. Ferris, I don't know. I wanted to take something zany, like American out of place wizard that got transferred from his American wizarding school over to Hogwarts as a disciplinary action.
Oh
and
no.
So, yeah, no, that was the idea. That's why the bat is his wand. Like, because he was like, I just wanted to adapt something foreign to it. And Ferris was very played off the cuff. Just kind of each session, I was forming what would ultimately become his character just on a whim. And I really do like how that turned out, but I also really like that with Crosshatch, I've got everything written down. I'm not playing it by ear. I do know his intentions, what he wants to do, and everything. And the problem with Crosshatch is just I have to parrot things. So
How are we gonna communicate it properly?
Correct.
But also ask Crosshatch.
we ran into that last session with, man, I'd really like studded armor, so I had to sit there and play fucking 20 question Pictionary bullshit, where I'm holding up a gold piece and then pointing to my leather, and they're just like, okay, you want new strap? No, not new straps, And then Everly was like, wait, I have studded leather, and I was like, Cross, moment of realization, hold gold, point at leather thing. And it took us forever to get it to work, but it worked.
I don't have to do puzzles for Wednesday. Cross is a puzzle.
Cross is the puzzle.
The puzzle should just be Crosshatch doing like charades with the party.
Yes, preferably far away from peering eyes, because he is. I wrote his own background stats for it, and he is a cryptid. Which I thought was funny that you were talking about cryptids earlier, because I actually wrote the cryptid background for him. But yeah.
So speaking of cryptids, which celebrity would you want to? Would you want as your BFF, and why?
If I had to bro down with a celebrity, are we talking like Hollywood celebrities or just anyone I consider a celebrity?
Yeah.
So yes, okay. So then I've got two answers.
Basically, take your pick. Which one you want?
If we're going Hollywood celebrities, I gotta say, I think having a beer with Tom Hardy would be pretty cool.
That would be that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, like give me the Venom voice, like please. Or I've also been binge watching Peaky Blinders lately, and he appears in that.
Yes. He's so good in that.
And
He is good in that.
When he first showed up, I did not know that was Tom Hardy.
That's because that's Tom Hardy. You don't know it's Tom Hardy until you Google
I didn't recognize him.
Yes.
Like
No,
he just
credits roll, and you're like Tom Hardy.
like no, I saw him in Venom, and then he just appears in that, and I'm like, that is an entirely like kudos, dude. Knocking that one out of the park.
If you're a Tom Hardy fan, I'm letting you know Bronson. It's on Netflix. Go watch Bronson. It's amazing.
Will do.
It's about England's most notorious criminal who is still in jail right now.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I've got to check that out. But then non-Hollywood celebrity, I think I would have to say would be Joshua Travis. He's the current guitarist for Emir, and his previous guitar work includes the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza and Glass Cloud, and just he's an 8 and 9 string guitar god, and I want to pick his brain. Like, yes, please.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. These are good answers. Okay. Jeremiah, do you want to read Lee's questions for no reason whatsoever?
Wow.
Okay.
Dang.
Implying I don't know.
No reason. I don't know.
What? Oh, this is a character question. What is your character's darkest secret?
Oh. My
What's your
character
darkest secret?
That you can't basically like game breaking or anything like that.
Yeah, no spoilers or anything. Or at first, when I first read this, I was kind of concerned because I was like, "What's my darkest secret?" I think just being 9 years sober.
How many times have you been to jail?
But yeah, no. Going into characters,
What was the last time you
Crosses?
were arrested?
What's the last time I've been arrested? What?
No, dude. That's the darkest secret.
Crosshatch's darkest secret is. All right, this is gonna be a mild spoiler, but it's
Oh no! Should I cover my ears?
no. It's not super major. Cross has never opened the chest plate. He genuinely does not know anything besides inside the chest plate is my core. That is what is giving me life. I don't know if it's just gonna whisk away into the wind if I open the chest plate. So he gets.
I like
He's
that.
being like asking questions about like, hey, do you know what this means? Kind of like that.
But yeah, that like and the ticking thing. Like if you're close enough, you can hear his chest plate ticking. Like there's a power source in there. There's got to be something making him move, but he has no idea what mechanism that is.
It was a little hamster all along.
Oh, his wheels just running through.
It's 3 hamsters in a giant monstrous suit of armor. Like, yeah, that's it. That's the fucking secret right there.
Yeah, I have a new character idea I would like to try.
Don't do it. Someone already has that plan.
Hey,
Yeah.
just banking off the power source thing. Feel free to use that. It's I thought of it pretty late, and I really enjoy how it's I hope it will eventually come up. I have a few ideas in my head.
Did you just tell the DM feel free to use my backstory?
I mean, no. I was telling Vic regarding the power source idea.
Don't do it. I've made that mistake before, Ryan.
I don't know.
Still paying for it.
No, something pretty major to Crosshatch has already come up in this last session, actually. What with there being ladies of things besides the lake. The Fraulein of the fields.
Watery tarts distributing swords is no basis for a system of government.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about? Is the best reasoning.
Next question. What motivates you to fight on even insurmountable odds? Even against insurmountable odds.
So, if we're talking about current characters, Cross is very binary in how he acquires targets for combat situations. To him, it is solely survival. He knows that the people around him do not mean him harm, and he knows that the things that are attacking us do mean harm. And regardless of what that thing is, be it Tiamat themselves or a freaking rat on the floor, if he thinks it's going to chew through something or break a critical system, he's going to probably try to destroy it. He prefers to avoid it, if only because if that thing happens to be humanoid or, intelligent, it's going to look at him and rouse the town guard. But that's just because of what he is. But yeah, it's pure survival instinct for Crosshatch. And he knows he sounds terrifying, and standing at 7'2" and being metal and the only one that he knows of his kind, kind of drives that hey, maybe don't attack this thing point home, or at least he thinks that. The rolls do not add up, but he thinks that.
No, the rolls.
And this is a Ryan question. What do you do to cheer up yourself when you're having a bad day?
I would say playing guitar, but I actually haven't touched it in a few weeks. I guess that's just fallout from when we had the big Houston freeze back in February. I was in the middle of a league match and the lights went out, and I knew I had I thought I had work in the morning, and then I saw the snow outside, and we were like, yeah, we better tuck down, in the living room. We played, because between me and all of my roommates, we have my guitar, a ukulele, 2 bass guitars, and like other musical instruments in the house. We honestly just broed down and just started like learning chords and shit, and just bouncing them off each other, and that was the most fun I've had, despite being cold and miserable. for almost a week ever. So music definitely a high point. I use League to unwind, but please don't take my word for it because it is the most toxic
League
cess
of
pit
Legends. Yeah,
of,
it is.
Wow,
I
you're
was
totally
of the
selling
game.
it for me.
Singing the song from the life of Brian.
I've actually never seen The Life of Brian.
What?
Oh,
I need to. I need to. I know I need to. My roommates actually
it's
just
not as
watched it a
good
few
as the
weeks
Holy
ago.
Grail. But it's good.
Holy Grail I've seen. Holy Grail I loved, but yeah, haven't seen Life of Brian. I have seen Meaning of Life as well. Meaning of Life was a fun one.
It'll be
but-
the last song of the movie, so you'll get what I mean. You'll catch that drift.
All right. So music is definitely the thing.
Oh yeah, it's either music or spamming video games until I go, oh hey look, the sun's coming up and I need to shift my sleep schedule. Whoops, and usually that'll do it. and nicotine helps. Maybe a cold beer, you know.
All right. Cold beers, they're good sometimes. Yeah, I agree. Hey Dickie, you have
Hello.
You got some questions?
Yeah, since he already read his questions, I'm going to throw a third question in there. So I'll start off with that. Are you prepared, sir?
Oh, of course. I didn't do
Who
3
wa-
years in yearbook for nothing.
Who was your main motivator in getting involved in role-playing games?
So it probably for joining DNC in particular, Justin, who was in our Wednesday campaign, was like, hey, they're starting this Harry Potter thing up, like you should try it out. And I was like, okay, about it. But it goes back further than that. My sister dated a dude that was trying to get a Pathfinder game going, and I think we got 3 sessions in before she cheated on him, and then he broke up with her, and that was a really awkward way to end a campaign. But I just role-playing games for me started probably with just the early RPGs. I played a lot of Final Fantasy VII growing up. Because they ported it to computer like a year after it went to the PlayStation 1, and my friends up the street got it for me for PC. I think I bricked 3 of the family computers trying to do that final boss fight. And that was after sinking hundreds of hours into it, only to have hard drive corruption hit. And oh my god, it hurt. It physically hurt. But just RPGs in general. And then I got into HeroClix when that first started getting off the ground. Played a few games of it and I really enjoyed it. And then it was one of those things. It's like Magic for me. Magic I started in 7th edition, and I picked it up, played one game with a Goblins deck that a friend from church back when I was church going had let me borrow. And then I put it down for like 10 years and then picked it up later. And I was like, oh, hey, I could get horribly addicted to cardboard crack. Let's do this. It's just one of those things. It's that I think just kind of creeps into the back of your mind. And then just at some point you're like, hey, I want to give this a serious go. And now I'm here. And I'm glad to be here with you all.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Of all your characters, which one is most like you and which one is the complete opposite of you?
So most like me would probably be Griswold. I played Griswold real close to the chest. Grizz says what's on his mind, and like it's why one of our stream points incentives is I've got an idea, but it's really stupid. I say that every day. I'll just have really dumb ideas like why can't we swim through land, and just other just ridiculous dumb things. And sometimes those dumb ideas aren't actually dumb, but that's kind of the driving force behind me as a person, and that was an absolute driving force behind Griswold as a character. Complete opposite is definitely Crosshatch. If you've seen any of our recent sessions in Arthurian Tales, you'll note it kind of looks like I'm uncomfortable while I'm trying to figure out like how I can interact without talking, because talking's just who I am. I talk really damn fast. So having mimicry written as a flaw for Crosshatch is a challenge in and of itself, and I try to find ways to work around it. But at the end of the day, it is a flaw. I don't want to sit there and like break character and say something I wouldn't say unless Jesus was like, hey, this comes out of your mouth and it's a totally subconscious thought that you didn't know you could speak. like that's like the only breaking case. And we've thought of something like really dumb in ideation for crosshatch, which is occasionally that'll come out. Like the party will be eating dinner and I'll just crack up with allergic to pickles or something just dumb like that, just completely out of nowhere. And it
I love that.
and it's just Cross is a total break, but I do love running him.
All right.
I gotta say too, I do like crosshatch. I like crosshatch a
I
lot.
love crosshatch. What a good boy.
All right. At what point in your gaming experience did you realize that RPGs are relatable to life?
Probably leveling systems. Leveling systems in like Skyrim, for example. Like, yeah, you can unlock some things by, getting to a certain level and just, magically you learn this. But if you, or not even Skyrim, in the DM's guide, I haven't actually read it, but I've seen it referenced. Jesus, I promise I'm not cheating.
You can read a DMG, that's fine. I would prefer if y'all did.
In the DM's guide, there's a note about leveling up a character in 5e that you can make it as convoluted or as simple as you want it to be. We do just, hey, you hit this XP, you're this level now. But some players want this experience where, like, after gaining this experience, they have this breakthrough in wizardry or something and have to, like, train for, like, a month and, like, have downtime, like, in a safe place where they can, like, learn these new skills that they've acquired. And I think a lot of that translates to life. Like, just finding the drive to do something new is interesting enough in RPGs that I think that's incredibly relatable. You can formulate exactly who you are. You can go to the one chick in the first place in Diablo 2 where you can re-roll all of your stats if you really want to. Like, it would take time, but it's absolutely doable. You can really make who you are. Mm-hmm. And having that in RPGs and having it, I'm talking too much. I lost my train of thought.
It's almost like this is the thing where we're asking you questions.
Yeah. No. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I leveling systems I think are incredibly relatable. And do I still think I'm a level 1 NPC human? Yeah, but I've got, nuance.
Tons of experience points in it.
Tons of nuance, just none of the gold to get me to level 2.
Which, branching off of that, just for GMs and DMs out there, like, it's one of the little, on our, like, hey, here's a D&C rule book that we have, like, please read these, and this is how, like, most of Jesus-specific games are going to be handled. There is a thing of, like, how narratively, I will try to do my best, but sometimes there's too many players, especially like in Wednesday's game, we have 8 of y'all, where like everybody levels up at level 3 and you all get a new ability, and it's, yeah, you level up as a wizard and you know Fireball now, but it's a lot cooler to think about like, how am I converting heat and energy into this explosive mechanic and this bombardment of spells, like practicing that until you get there, which is what you would do in real life. But in D&D, sometimes it's just, especially when we're live, well, you just know it now. And like in a movie, it would be a montage after a montage, and then but everyone gets a montage.
And me and Jesus actually talked about this at one point. He was like, so how does this Eldritch Blast manifest, Crosshatch? And I'm like, well, I figure you just see like light from the lining of the plate for his chest plate that you can see, and then it just kind of explodes out of his arm, just as this just violent force energy. And because when it comes to spellcasting in D&D in particular, a lot of them have verbal components, and well, mimicry doesn't tend to lead itself to that, but in our specific universe, there is such a thing as wordless magic. So what I'm thinking is the way that Crosshatch casts spells is that because the soul in him knows how to speak, just can't through the construct. Yeah. He thinks the sound, and then Crosshatch says whatever the hell he's gonna fucking say, and then just yeets an Eldritch Blast across the field at someone.
Crosshatch is pretty much a Pokemon. We've discussed this.
Yeah, I loved Spine Roll so much I decided to become a pet.
Oh. And here is the lasty of the last. Unless Dickie has another question. Okay.
Nope, no more. I'm all done. All
Hey,
yours.
hey, Rian.
Yeah.
What does DNC mean to you?
DNC to me, I hate to go with the campy answer. I would have thought of something funny here, but after thinking about it, DNC means honestly family to me. Yeah, I know that's kind of a Fast and Furious cop out answer, but let me elaborate. I got really sick at one point a few months back, and I was just absolutely bedridden. We thought it was a COVID scare. I couldn't go to work and everything. And at one point, I just dropped a message and said, "Hey, I am absolutely dying." And Bones goes, "What's your address?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" And she goes, "What's your address?" And Lee shows up 2 hours later with like a brand new one of these freaking stuffy pillows. She got me one for Ferris that's a vampire, and this one's like a pirate bear. Brand new stuffy pillow, a pint of ice cream, and an entire bottle of like 100 Advil, and was like, or Aleve, and like, "I hope you feel better," and just random acts of kindness like that, and just we all help each other out in our own way. It doesn't have to be financially or anything like that. Like we bro down and we're here for each other, and that's what it means to me. Like, I might not be able to see all Sacred World games because I'm usually like neck deep losing LP in League, but I do
Losing LP.
yeah, I mean, let's be real. But I do love you all dearly, and I want to be a part of every single campaign I can possibly be a part of without, spreading myself way too thin. But yeah, family. That's what it means to me.
Well, that's adorable. You're adorable, Ryan.
I try.
It's just like I do. I know I try. Well,
And I succeed.
I succeed. Unless anyone has, because that's that time now. Any last minute things? Any last minute thoughts, Ryan?
Please don't murder Crosshatch before like session 15.
I make no promises.
And
We're only prisoners to the dice.
And if you don't call the whatever decided to manifest me the Fraulein of the field in passing as a joke, I go by many names, like Beelzebub, the Fraulein of the. Okay, don't ask me about that one. But other than like I'm, that's the picturesque moment I have in my head. And if you let me down on that, I will never forgive you. No, I'm kidding. Kidding.
Oh, you guys don't even know.
Oh God.
I has plans.
You're already throwing great value Eldrazi at us. I'm scared for
Yeah.
more.
I was like, I want to make more horror. How do I make this lo-fi medieval fantasy horror? And like, oh, I'll just go the extreme opposite end of for Fridays. Oh, we'll make high fantasy horror.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all don't
Give me
even.
Love adding some horror to my fantasies.
Oh yeah.
It's all about the fantasy horror. But
It's not a fantasy if no one's bleeding. Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh, poor West.
Yeah.
So, I think we're gonna call it here. Love you guys
Oh, I
very
didn't-
much. It's
I didn't
9.
realize I ran that long. There's so many
Yeah.
other bullet points that we did not get to. Or I think we did.
We
Oh.
we went through every bullet point. Unless you
Oh.
want, unless there's something you want to say, Ryan.
No. It's not that. I think they were just out of order, and that's my like.
Oh.
I don't know. I like going back through the bullet points. I was like, oh wait, no, we did go through those things. I'm just an idiot. Like I said, I have
Silly-
ideas.
Silly
Sometimes they're
Rian.
dumb.
Silly Rian. But yeah. Just love each other. Don't forget to be kind to one another. Go get vaccinated. Yeah. We'll see you soon. We'll see you on the next one.
Hopefully at the table.
Hopefully it's a table. Yeah. All right. Adios, everybody.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
So.